everybody? Welcome back to round 51 of Inside the Clinch. Eric and Johnny back for another week of MMA action. John, how you doing, brother?
Oh boy, Eric, do I have a lot to tell you. So firstly, I got this new trimmer over here for my bushy eyebrows that's not working for some reason. So that's a little bit upsetting. I got it from Amazon. I thought I'll be able to trim these beautiful eyebrows, but I guess that's not gonna happen. But aside from that, I'm pretty good. This week was busy. Like the weekend itself, last weekend was busy. Friday, I had a 4 hour mock board exam because I'm coming like closer to finishing school. And then I had some classes, all that stuff. So I was exhausted, but I was looking forward the entire time that I woke up. The second I woke up, I was excited to watch Eagle FC, which we're going to get into. But aside from that, it was good. I had a good weekend, a lot of snow. New York, I mean, the area that we live in got about, I would say, like 10 to 12 inches of snow this weekend. So it's been cold, it's been snowy. But aside from that, I've been good. How are you?
I've been good, man. Like you said, we had a bunch of snow this weekend. I actually took my snowboard out to the back. I was hoping to hit the mountain this weekend, but unfortunately, that day trip didn't end up happening. So me and my neighbor just took our snowboards out and we're riding up and down the hill in our backyard. So we made the best of what we could. But I am going to Vermont this weekend, which I'm really excited for. So
How,
I'm
how
ready.
did how did that work out? You mean like sleds or your actual snowboard?
No, we took our actual snowboards. We didn't go very far, but there's like a bit of a
Oh
hill.
yeah, you have a hill in your backyard.
Yeah, so we made the best of it. First few times we had to pave the path down, and then we just
Yeah,
made it work.
and it was good. It was a fun time.
I mean, we didn't go that far, but yeah, it was fun enough.
I
Better than
mean,
nothing.
I mean, you can't go that far. It's just a limited area. You could
It was like
snowboard there. It's a
5, 10 feet, maybe but that was it. Like, I mean, hey, better than nothing.
Did your little brother also go on it or no?
Nah, he was using the sled instead. He didn't like it. He couldn't get his balance right.
Yeah. By the way, your brother just had the tournament yesterday, right?
Yeah, shout out to Jacob. He got second place this time.
Oh shit! Congratulations to him. So, he got third place last time, or
Yeah, last 2 times he got third place. This time he got second. So small
that,
improvements for Jacob, but hopefully next time he's gonna get first place.
that's nice. And I saw a picture of your little brother and the medals that they're giving out. It's literally the same ones when we used to do judo. It's the same. It's the same logo of the guy throwing what is like a harai or.
Dude, I've been going to like tournaments with him here and there, and like not much has changed. The same coaches are there, even though they've gotten much older. They still have the clubs are the same. It's the same types of tournaments. We used to go to the same places and stare at the zebra mat tournaments are still around. It's like all these, just the whole thing is just, it's not that different,
Well,
surprisingly.
your brother doesn't go to the zebra mat tournaments.
Nah,
Yeah,
not
right?
yet. He's still too young.
He just goes to the local ones for now, right?
Yeah, his coach did say something about nationals, but it's way too early for him to go to nationals. He needs to get a few wins under his belt first, in my opinion.
I agree. He needs to get more discovered in the local scene,
Yep.
get to working out, get mentally work out a little bit more, and then he should be ready soon. But he's an orange belt now, right? I saw.
Orange belt, yes, sir.
Nice. So he's moving up. So congratulations to your little brother. I know he listens to the podcast. So congratulations, Jacob. We're proud of you, and keep on the good work. Next time,
Like I said, next time, hopefully he gets first.
next time, yeah. If Khabib was here, Khabib would be like, "Yo, like if you don't get first place, you're like, we're not talking to you." So we got to do the same treatment with Jacob.
That was a funny video you posted a couple of months ago. I remember that.
Yeah. So Jacob, if you're listening to this, first place next tournament, man.
So, John, last week we had Josh Silveda on the podcast. He's one of the newest additions to the PFL 2022 season. So this week we're going to catch up on UFC 270. We're going to talk about Eagle FC that went down in the United States for the first time this past Friday, and Bellator 273 that went down on Saturday as well. And also going to give our thoughts on this weekend's main event, Sean Strickland versus Jack Hermansen.
Yeah, before we get into it, I just want to say one thing. If you haven't listened to the interview with Eric and Josh last week, it was a terrific interview. I don't compliment Eric a lot, but it was a great interview. It was a good job. And this kid, Josh Silveda, he sounds like the real deal. His father is the coach of one of the coaches at American Top Team, from what I understand. I wasn't part of the podcast. I was just a listener.
Yeah, his dad is one of the head coaches down there.
Yeah, so it was a great podcast. If you haven't heard it already, go ahead and listen to it. This kid could be the future of MMA. So if you haven't heard it yet, go ahead and listen to it. It's a great podcast.
Yeah, like I said, 70 or 80% of his fights finish in the first round. The kid's a stud. Double champ at the LFA, second to do it. So I don't know. I think he has a bright future.
He's undefeated right now, right?
Yeah, 10-0, 7-0, I believe it was. I don't remember off the top of my head, but the kid is looking. Yeah, I think it's 10-0.
Yeah, he sounded like a chill kid. He sounded like pretty like chill vibes. Good interviewer. I feel like he's good on camera and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to him. He's going to be fighting in the PFL soon, right?
So he's going to be in the Challenger Series. So that's kind of, I guess you can think of it as the Dana White Contender Series of the PFL. Basically, this is giving them a chance. This is new for the 2022 season. They're giving the fighters a chance to get into the 2020 official brackets. So
for the $1 million.
Yeah. So this is like kind of qualifiers, I guess. So whoever wins it, to my understanding, is going to go on and fight in the official roster for 2022.
I think he's gonna make. He's good, and it's the PFL. Not to discredit the PFL, but he's really good at what he does, and I personally think he's gonna make it. So
he's gonna be in light heavyweight. He said a lot of his teammates are gonna be in there, and he's all right to fight them if that's how the brackets end up happening. So
yeah, I heard that.
Interesting.
Yeah, I heard he said that it's business, and like they all understand the business and all that stuff, that's cool. Cool for him that they have that type of relationship. And if he gets into the UFC, you know how the UFC loves all that fucking
they love
teammate stuff. So I guess good for him, and I'm looking forward to his career.
Likewise, brother. So let's get on to UFC 270 that went down this past weekend. Francis Ngannou, and still the heavyweight champion of the world. Man, that guy fucking evolved. That's the first thing I have to say. The evolution of Francis Ngannou is just tremendous. I thought if anyone was going to beat Francis Ngannou, it was going to be Ciryl Gane. A year ago, I said if Francis had the belt, he'd never be able to lose it. And last weekend, I said he might lose it. But if you really pay attention, Ciryl Gane only kind of crept up in the UFC scene like about a year ago. So I thought if there was any chance, Ciryl Gane had to be that guy. And Ciryl Gane did not stand a chance, man. And I think Francis Ngannou will go down as the greatest heavyweight, at least of our era and prior. Dude, the guy is just amazing. I don't know what else to say. Phenomenal evolution.
Yeah, let's talk about the fight first, and then let's talk about all the drama around the fight. So last week you asked me who do I think is going to win, and I didn't want to give an answer because it was such a weird fight to call. But you put a gun to my head, and I said Francis Ngannou. And the reason I said Francis Ngannou was because what I mentioned was I didn't think that Ciryl Gane would be able to take or wrestle with Francis Ngannou. And on the feet, it's kind of hard to defeat Francis Ngannou, but boy, was I wrong, because Francis Ngannou totally changed up the game plan, and he was the one wrestling as opposed to Ciryl Gane trying to take him down. So you and I were watching it at the Legends Bar in the city with some of our friends, and it was a crazy experience because Francis Ngannou, like, we're just not used to seeing him fight like that, and with the whole torn knee that he had, all that drama, with all that shit that he's been talking about the UFC, he had a lot on the line with this fight. He had a lot to prove, and he had a lot to lose in this fight, and he was successful. And I guess that gives him some type of leverage. What do you think?
He may have leverage, but at the end of the day, the UFC does what they want. They kind of monopolize the market, and the way their contracts are, they kind of control you. I don't want to say like a puppet, but they have you on a pretty short leash. So look, maybe he's going to give him some additional leverage, but Francis is, from what I understand, he's pretty clear on he wants the clause in the contract where he can box. And I don't think Dana is going to give him that opportunity. I don't get why not co-promote, but I guess that's their business, not mine. I don't see why Dana disagrees, but at the end of the day, Dana's going to do what Dana is going to want to do. Like, that's what it comes down to, unfortunately.
What did you make of the whole Dana White not coming and putting on the belt? You know how they made a huge deal about that. Dana White not putting on the belt on Francis Ngannou after the fight when he put the belt on Figueiredo the previous fight, and also Dana White not showing up to the press conference. What did you think? Did you notice that? And what did you think of the whole thing?
I didn't pay attention when the belt was put on him, but I did notice he was.
Yeah, we actually walked out the bar right after this thing was over. But after I guess you saw it. You saw people talking about it. After the bar. So what did you think of the whole thing?
So I think if he would have just not shown up to either and just kind of walked away would have been fine. But the bullshit excuse that he gave a couple of days ago, I thought was just nonsense. He said he didn't go into any specific details, but he said that he had very pressing matters to attend to, and like this isn't the first time he hasn't put the belt on someone. And he pointed back to like a GSP fight, I think. I don't know. I thought the excuse was bullshit. Like he didn't really give a reason why. He just kind of said, "Oh, I'm busy," which, I mean, look, if you're gonna say something, you got to make it count, in my opinion. I don't know. I thought it was better to say nothing than to say what he did say. Yeah, I thought it was very disrespectful to Francis Ngannou, to answer your question.
I mean, I don't know if I think it's that disrespectful to Francis Ngannou because of this reason, because Francis Ngannou, every single chance that he got, he went out and talked shit about the UFC. Now, I mean, I'm not saying he was wrong or anything like that, but every single opportunity he had, like with MMA media, with like comedians, with any type of interview that he had prior to the fight, he would go and say something negative about the UFC.
I mean, look, dude, he was fighting.
But do you understand what I'm saying?
He was fighting once a year. You know what I mean? Like he has a contract, and the contracts typically are 3 fights in a year.
I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm not saying he's wrong, but if you're looking at it from Dana White's perspective, like the guy's just been talking shit about your promotion and every single opportunity that he has. So I guess I see why Dana White did something like that, but I don't agree with it. Obviously, Dana White is the boss. He has to be the bigger man, and this is his athlete at the moment. I thought he should have been there, but I don't know. Who knows what happened?
I agree. Who knows? I thought that was a dick move by Dana, but like I said, Dana will do what he wants to do. But looking at a couple of stats real quick, Francis landed 4 out of 5 takedown attempts. Career high for Francis. Very, very impressive. They weren't just some of those like, oh, this guy slipped and I'm just going to lay down on top of him kind of takedowns. You know, they were pretty technical takedowns, which was very impressive to see. Everyone knows that Francis's striking is scary, and the loophole in his game was his wrestling, but it looks like he shortened up that loophole. But Ciryl Gane surprisingly outstruck Francis. I was surprised to see the stats after. 71 for Francis, 79 total strikes for Ciryl Gane, and 43 to 63 in significant strikes, also favoring Ciryl Gane. So I don't know, man. I was a little bit that's pretty decent gap, at least in the significant strikes. 20 strikes differential. I mean, that's pretty noticeable.
I mean, Ciryl Gane did his work in the stand-up department, but
mostly for the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, but I feel like after like the 3rd round, and even Francis Ngannou said this, that he saw defeat in Ciryl Gane's face, like similarly to the way he felt when he fought Stipe Miocic the first time around. So I mean, Ciryl Gane, like I don't think any less of him. I just think that he needs to work on his grappling a little more, and we all knew that because he's not a grappler; he's a kickboxer. He's an amazing striker. But Francis Ngannou, like he doesn't have great like jiu-jitsu or grappling or anything like that, but it was nice to see him utilize something. And if you go to our Instagram channel, Inside the Clinch MMA, we posted a video of one of Francis Ngannou's takedowns, and in judo we call this throw the sekuinagi. It's basically when you grab the leg and you toss your opponent, I guess, laterally. So that's what Francis Ngannou did, and he landed in side control. So I mean, seeing something like that out of Francis was shocking, not only to you and me, but to the world. It was crazy to see him do something like that. We're just not used to it, I guess.
I hope he just keeps getting better and better. Like I said in the beginning, I don't think there's a man in the UFC roster right now that can beat Francis, because I don't know. So I don't see anyone.
What is he going to do? So, okay, he wants to go box, right? That's obviously that's one thing.
First of all, he's just undergone surgery, so he's gonna have to rehab it. Yeah, I think this past weekend they announced that he went into surgery, or he's preparing into surgery on his knee. He has like 3 ligaments torn or something. Yeah. So first of all, he's gonna have to recover for that, which could be up to a year. And Dana, he's definitely ready to put another interim heavyweight belt out there because he fucking hates Francis. So.
He did it to Francis the first time.
Bro, that was so fucked up.
He did it so fast, like a month later.
Bro, that was so messed up, bro.
Why does he treat him like that? But I saw a video of Laura Sanko. For those of you that don't know, Laura Sanko, she works as I don't know how do you call it? What's
broadcaster?
She's like a broadcaster. She's also a former female fighter. Beautiful girl, but that's besides the point. But there's a video of Francis Ngannou like twisting her around, and in the comments, people are like, "Oh, Francis Ngannou's knee looks fine," and I thought it was funny because and Laura Sanko was like, "Oh, it was like a few months ago." People on the internet are fucking stupid. That was off topic, but yeah, people on the internet is retarded.
So let me ask you, John, where does Johnny Bones Jones fit into all this?
Where does Johnny Bones Jones fit into all this? I mean, in an ideal world, Francis Ngannou stays in the UFC. Like, where the fuck is he gonna go? Like, I get you're gonna go and get your money in boxing. I support that, whatever, and I'd love to see it too. But where are you gonna go besides the UFC? So, in an ideal world, I hope they work something out with the UFC where Francis stays. I don't know, they do something according to history, according to Chael Sonnen. Apparently, these types of situations don't really favor the Francis Ngannou's. But hopefully they work something out and they set up a fight with John Jones. And you and I both pretty much have the same take on this. And I posted something. I commented on something basically saying that for anyone that thinks that John Jones could beat Francis Ngannou at this point in his career is just out of their mind. And I stand by that because
you got roasted for that.
I got roasted, whatever, but I still stand by my decision. And I think that John Jones at this point in his career is not going to beat Francis Ngannou. Like, are we just going to forget the last two fights with Dominic Reyes and Santos? Santos, he beats him by split decision. Reyes, he loses to Reyes. If you like look at it as like in terms of scoring, he was supposed to lose that fight. So how is he going to beat Francis Ngannou? He couldn't take down Dominic Reyes. How is he going to take down Francis Ngannou? Please tell me this. He's not going to knock out Francis Ngannou.
I'm not disagreeing. Okay,
no, so I know you're not disagreeing, but if you look, I just saw a clip remember when Francis Ngannou fights Jairzinho Rozenstruik? So he goes like fucking like powers at him, but he gets hit. He gets hit a few times and like nothing. And Jairzinho Rozenstruik hits hard.
Yeah.
And John Jones is not the same anymore. Maybe if this was some years ago when he was younger, the dominant John Jones, just right now, I don't think that's the case.
So let me ask you, I guess the same question, but a little bit differently. If Francis didn't have the surgery right now, is John Jones versus Francis the next fight to make for the heavyweight belt? Or for Francis, forget the belt for a second. Is that the next fight to make for Francis and John?
I mean, from a selfish fan standpoint, point of view, I guess that's what I want to see. Obviously,
bro, it's a spectator sport. This sport is for the fans. So
yeah,
you know what I mean.
But what about Stipe? Why,
where is Stipe? You're telling me Stipe is just gonna wait and get another title shot after losing to DC and Francis? Like, bro, he hasn't been active. I don't like this whole shit that they did with Colby, with Masvidal. Like, you can't just sit out and just wait for your rematch title. Like, win at least one fight, 2 fights, get your title shot back.
They need to make Stipe and Ciryl Gane. I think that's the fight to make.
That's a good fight to make. Hopefully, Ciryl Gane's not going to need a long recovery, but yeah, I'd be very interested to see that fight. Who wins?
I don't know. It's hard. I can't. No guns and no heads. When it happens, I'll choose something. I'll choose a fighter. But at this point, I don't know. Who do you think is gonna win?
I'm gonna lean towards Ciryl Gane because
I think
first of all, Stipe hasn't been as active. Second,
Stipe's old. I'll add
Stipe's old, and not only did Stipe go through the 2 wars with Francis, but then the trilogy with DC is just like all those. It was a trilogy, and bro, it's just like too much damage to one man's head. You know what I mean? Especially at that age. So I think the damage has added up. So
just a knockout alone from Francis Ngannou, like, god damn,
my brain would be scrambled eggs.
I have like the video in my head right now of him. It's absolutely ridiculous. Or the knockout with Francis Ngannou had over Reem.
I got that NFT, baby.
Oh, you
Yo, did? I got. By the way,
my brother also got one. Which ones did you get? I saw that you got Cater and Chandler.
I got that one. I have, let's see, I have Tai Tuivasa. I have a bunch. I have almost all of them except for Khamzat, and I really want.
How many is all of them there? How many are there?
So I bought 5 packs. So the way they were selling the packs for $50 that had 3 NFTs. And so in my opinion, it was worth it. 3 for $50. and you're allowed to buy 5 in the whole day. You got to buy one and get back in line and buy another. So it's kind of like a whole day process for me. But they messed something up on the distribution. So they basically refunded everyone's money back, and they gave us all the money back, and they gave us an extra pack for each pack that we bought. So I got 5 more packs. So I have a lot of fucking NFTs. Or sorry. Yeah, I don't even know. I just have a whole bunch of NFTs in my wallet. I have duplicates in there. I have none of the super rare ones, but I'm hoping for, I think the next drop is this Sunday, actually. So I'm gonna have to find a way to do that from the mail.
How do you know how much they're worth?
So they're opening up the marketplace this Friday or Sunday. No, this Sunday as well. They're opening up the marketplace. So that's going to give people an opportunity to trade and buy, sell. So we'll see.
And where do you do this for the listeners and for me, I guess?
UFCstrike.com.
UFCstrike.com. My brother said he got a free NFT or something like that.
Yeah, because he bought one. So they gave him a free one. So that's what it was. Sorry. They didn't give a free pack.
I don't know if he bought. I have to ask him, but
he did buy one. I was actually talking to your brother. He did buy one.
Oh, he did buy one. So how much does one cost? $50?
Well, he bought a pack, so $50 for 3 of them.
But he didn't buy it on the same day. He bought it a few days later. It was still the same price.
No, a few days later it was for free. It was like a gift to the NFT holders. They like airdropped it to us.
Oh, so he got it on the original day.
He purchased one when I did on last Sunday or the Sunday before, and then they gave us the gift like this week.
I see. Yeah, to the listeners, I guess if you're into NFTs and making money.
I don't know. I'm not into NFTs that much, but one of my 2022 goals was to buy a few NFTs. So I just kind of crossed that off my list early in the year.
I think you kind of have to start being into NFTs. It's becoming the new thing. Everybody's talking about it. So, I mean, I don't really know much about it, so I don't want to say it's a good or bad move, but it sounds like it's a good move.
Hey, you need a little bbit of exposure in your portfolio. So we'll see how it goes. It was like I said, 5 packs, $250, 15 NFTs plus they give 20 NFTs for $250. Actually, for free, they gave us the money back, but then I'm going to put all that money back into the second drop. So it's like,
so you spent a total of $250 and you got
15 NFTs for that. And then
you got 30 NFTs. 15 and then you got another 15.
It was 15 and then they gave 1 for each.
Oh, so 15. So you got 20 NFTs.
Yeah. And then all that money, I don't think they gave it back to my card. I think it's like in your account. So I'm just going to put all that money back into the second drop. So
yeah. I know this is off topic, but this is kind of interesting. But, so which ones are the rare ones?
They're like 5. I think they're called championship tier ones. You can go on the website. There's like a list of them.
You remember any of them?
I think Francis was one of them. I can't remember any of the others off the top of my head. I think Francis Overeem may have been a championship tier one.
Francis has his own NFTs.
No, so what they gave him was actually that NFT, the championship one. That's what they gave
he said that he has his.
Oh,
he
really?
doesn't have his own. I think he has his own NFTs.
Oh, maybe
he said that. Or I might be mistaken, but I think from what I understood, he has his own NFTs of each knockout that he has or that he gets or whatever. He's gonna make a new NFT out of that. So he's like, oh, if I beat Ciryl, like new knockout, like new NFT or something like that. So maybe it's the UFC making. I'm not sure, but I kind of understood it as that's his NFT, his own NFT, not by the UFC, which would make more sense because he kind of wants to leave the UFC or like he's talking about that. So
well, if I'm not mistaken, with this deal, they're giving the fighters 50% of the money that they sell the pack for, if I understood correctly. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think that may be the case. So look, it's a nice little kickback to the fighters.
Yeah. I mean, and then someone asked Dana White during the press conference about the NFTs, and he didn't want to get too into it. But I guess it's cool. I mean, this is off topic. We should get back into UFC 270. But yeah, if anyone's looking for NFTs, talk to your boy Eric. He's rich on them right now. So yeah, let's continue with UFC 270.
All right, so let's go to the co-main event: Figueiredo versus Moreno, trilogy fight. It is currently 1-1-1. Figueiredo got a decision win. Look, first question that immediately pops into my head: is this the first time we're going to see a 4th fight? I think yes. So the first fight was very close. Most people say Figueiredo won, and he would have won if it wasn't for that point deduction. Second fight, Moreno washed them, just absolutely demolished him. This fight, bro, was shades of the first fight, but like the evolution, it was just, it was a very competitive match, back and forth, 5 rounds, nonstop action from both guys. We were, like you said, we were at the bar. The whole bar was going crazy. And I got to say, all night, so like you said, we were with a bunch of friends. Everyone had money, on parlays, bets here and there, and everyone was doing great. And this one fight was supposed to hit for all of our parlays. And I remember when Moreno lost, all of us were like, fuck. It was a little upsetting.
It's an iffy one because, I kind of thought Moreno was going to win, obviously, from his last fight. But I don't know. I kind of also felt that Figueiredo is going to come back because he lost so weirdly. And he was saying that he didn't feel the same, but obviously those all excuses and stuff like that. But them boys put on a show. But you said you just rewatched it recently, yesterday, right?
Last night. I was
and you think that it was supposed to be Moreno that was supposed to win. I watched it one time at the bar with you, and from what I saw, I got to rewatch it, obviously. But I thought that Figueiredo won by a slight margin. But you say you rewatched recently, so why do you say that?
Look, I'm not going to deny, maybe there's a bit of a bias because I was rooting for Moreno going in and I had some money on him. I'm just going to be like straight up with everyone to put that out there. But I did feel like Moreno did control more of the fight. The first round was kind of really close. I thought probably they would give it to Figueiredo. Second round, Moreno took. Third round was also pretty close, but I think the takedown at the end is what got Figueiredo the round. And the fifth one, I don't know.
I think it was the takedowns, and also it was when Figueiredo landed. It was basically the volume versus the power. So when Figueiredo hit him, it affected Moreno more than when Moreno hit Figueiredo, because Moreno fell down several times. He got knocked down, but he got right back up. But still, in the judge's eyes, like that's more damage, So maybe that was a factor. I think that Figueiredo won it fair and square, but it was a very close fight. There is an argument to make a fourth fight. Obviously, do you want a fourth fight right now, or do you want to wait some time?
Firstly, before we move on, you mentioned volume. 106 strikes for Moreno versus 95 for Figueiredo. So Moreno was, like you said, up on volume. Do I want to see a fourth fight? I think it's a fight to make now. Only because if one of these guys goes on to fight someone else and loses, like, you don't have this fight anymore. You know what I mean? Because like right now, they're the two best flyweights. And I'm not saying that someone like Pantoja or Askarov doesn't deserve a chance to fight for the belt right now. I actually think they should fight each other for the same time that the fourth fight happens, and then winners fight each other for the belt again.
Yeah, Kara France in there also. Askarov.
Too early for the belt for Kara France in that division. Like, he needs a couple more wins. He's heading in that direction. He just needs a couple more wins, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, no, I see what you're saying. It sucks for the fucking Askarovs and Pantojas, and
they should fight each other.
Who else is there? There's Askarov, Pantoja, those two. Are you pulling it up right now?
Yeah, one sec.
It'd be cool if Henry Cejudo was in the mix, and we're gonna get into Henry Cejudo a little bit later.
No, it would not be cool if Henry Cejudo's in the mix at all. Let's see. We have Moreno, Askarov, Pantoja, Alex Perez. Not bad. Brandon Roy. How's Brandon Royval ranked number 4?
No, it's just those four. I was mistaken.
Didn't Royval just lose again, or did he win? He lost, I thought. How's he ranked number 4?
Brandon Royval.
He just fought.
Yeah, he just fought. I'm not sure. I'm having a brain fart. It is what it is.
Oh no, he won his last fight. Still, I think number 4 is ranked too high. He just lost.
I think it's between those 4: Pantoja, Askarov, and the two people that just fought for Figueiredo Moreno. So
Manel Kopp is number 14th in that division, and Tagir Ulanbekov. So that's 14 and 15. So I think by next year they'll be higher up on the rankings.
Yeah, but for now, who cares about
them? Dust. As you like to say, dust.
Yeah, for now. Those 4. The division is looking as good as it's ever looked, and like the fact that they wanted to cancel this division is crazy. But great fight by Moreno and Figueiredo. Let's see what happens, what the UFC decides. But anyway they go, it's going to be exciting. But you bring up a good point. If you don't make this fight now, one of them loses, which they might, because Pantoja is really fucking good. Askarov is really good. So there's a big chance of either of them losing to either of those fighters. So I guess make that fight right now. That would be my I don't like trilogies or fourth fights, but I guess with these two, it's a little different. It's a little different story. So yeah, sign me up for the fourth fight.
All right, so prior to that on the card, we had Michel Pereira getting a decision win over Andre Fialo. It was a very interesting fight. I liked how Pereira looked. He looked more sharp and composed in there. He's still a bit sloppy, but he's clowning around a lot less. And if he is, he's doing it at the end of the fight when his opponent's already tired out. Fialo, he's a good boxer, but in MMA, you got to mix it up a little bit more. You know what I mean? He's a very good, very technical boxer, but all he relied on was his hands. Barely any kicks, no takedown attempts. It was just not enough. It wasn't complex enough for MMA. I don't know how else to say it. You know what I mean? Like, he just needs to mix it up a little bit more. Michel Pereira, that guy's like, he's like a lion in the woods. Like, he stalks down his prey. If he sees a moment where his opponent is weak, he jumps in and rushes, whether it's a flying knee, a Superman, like, he'll come at you as soon as he senses that opportunity, which just makes for an exciting fight every time he steps into the octagon. So another great win for Michel Pereira.
Yeah, I love. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but I do love watching Michel Pereira fight. Obviously, as who doesn't love watching that guy fight? But this fight kind of turned out exactly how I thought it would, aside from the first round where Fialo was having his way. But as the fight progressed, it looked like he either got tired or he gave up, and Michel Pereira was able to fucking destroy him. And in the third round, it was a TKO, right?
No, decision.
Oh, it wasn't a late. It was a late TKO.
That's what I thought when I was rewatching it too. I'm like, wasn't this fight stopped? I thought it was stopped.
I thought it was fight. Okay. But yeah, as the fight progressed, it was clear to see who the better fighter was. And as I thought, Fialo was okay, but like, he was in other organizations. He had these opportunities. And the only reason he's in the UFC right now is because that 4-fight knockout streak. But like, the better people in the division, like Michel Pereira, is a technical and very good fighter. It's going to be hard for him to beat people like that if he can't beat certain people in Bellator and other promotions. So, I mean, whatever, good fighter, average fighter, but not interested.
So one thing they actually mentioned on the broadcast, Andre Fialo, he actually said that he had a hard time getting training partners to mimic Michel Pereira during his camp. And, you know, usually in a training camp, you try to get someone that's the same build and shape and weight and everything of your opponent so you can get used to their movements and their style. So you try to find someone as close as possible. He had a hard time doing that. I mean, there's not many people that fight like Michel Pereira, just like there aren't many people that fight like Dominic Cruz. You know what I mean? It's an unorthodox style. It's hard to prepare for. It's hard to defend against. So that's just one thing I wanted to point out. And Michel Pereira, I want to see him fight a top 15 guy next. I think it's time. He's been getting his name out there. He's racking up the wins. I think the man's deserved to start earning his way up the ranking and slowly cash that paycheck and make a name for himself.
Yeah, tough night for anybody. So yeah, I'm looking forward to what's in store for him for sure.
All right, John. So prior to that, we had the performance of the night. Said Nurmagomedov submits Cody Stamann 47 seconds into the first round. Beautiful, fast submission, in and out. Dagestan, man, Nurmagomedov. I mean, is it just meant to be? Do we have another legend in the making here?
I don't know about legend in the making. We've seen Nurmagomedov lose before.
A minute. To get a submission in a minute is impressive.
Oh, yeah. I'm not saying it's not impressive. It was a very impressive performance, but it's also against Cody Stamann, who's been looking not good as of late. But I personally did not think that was going to end in a minute. Cody Stamann is still a tough fight for anybody. And shout out to our boy Bob, who predicted first round submission, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah, you got crazy odds on that one, right?
Yeah, he made some money, on that one. But yeah, good job for him. And he shares the same last name with Khabib Nurmagomedov. They're not brothers or cousins or anything like that, but maybe from the same fucking.
Are you sure? I heard someone say cousin of Khabib. Are you sure they're not cousins?
I'm not sure, but I was trying to find that they were on like Tapology and Wikipedia and all that stuff. I didn't see them reference Khabib at all. So that's how I made my assumption. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think they are. And also, I feel like they would have made a deal out of, it's Khabib's cousins, you know. Khabib's cousin just fought in Bellator.
Bellator, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so opening up UFC 270 was Michael Morales getting a TKO win over Trevin Giles, 4 minutes, 6 seconds in the first round. That was a great way to start off the pay-per-view, in my opinion. This was a overall great pay-per-view to start off 2022. And dare I say, we're off to a great start. Let's keep the ball rolling.
You dare say that? It was a great pay-per-view. And just comparing it to Bellator and Eagle FC, which we're going to get into in a second, UFC is just way ahead of both of those organizations. Even on nights where most fights go to decision, you could see the level of competition is just different. Like Bellator does have some good fighters. Eagle FC, not really.
Yeah, it's they're still young. They're just branching out of Dagestan, so they're gonna expand.
UFC is so good right now. But yeah, it was a great pay-per-view for sure.
All right, so this past Friday, like we said, was also Eagle FC's first event in the United States, which was, it was interesting to see. We had Chael Sonnen on the broadcast, we had Henry Cejudo on the broadcast, and surprisingly, the UFC champion Kamaru Usman was commentating on there as well. What was your opinion on the promotion overall? You watched a bit more than I did.
Yeah, as I said, I was looking forward to Eagle FC. I talked about my busy day on Friday, so I was looking forward to watching it. Honestly, I thought it was okay. I thought it was for its first show in the United States. I thought it was pretty good. It wasn't great or anything like that, but it was nice. They kind of won me over, I guess, maybe with the familiar faces, with seeing Kamaru Usman there. Chael Sonnen, I thought did a really good job. Henry Cejudo, I know you don't like him as a commentator or anything like that, but I don't think he did a good job at all in that regard. But I don't know. I guess it was kind of nice seeing him there. But the promotion altogether has a lot of areas to improve in. The fights weren't really too exciting for me. I don't know. It was a decent card. It was a decent night for Eagle FC, but I don't know. They can't compare it to anything yet. But I think they do have a lot of potential. And Khabib has a lot of money himself. He has a lot of ties to the Arab countries and all that stuff. So I feel like they have a lot of potential. They have a lot of areas to improve in. And I do think that they are going to improve drastically in the coming years.
Yeah, like we said, they're just branching out outside of Dagestan now. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that they're going to be recruiting. We already see them scooping up former UFC fighters, I think PFL fighters, Bellator.
Yeah, they're all fighters from all over. And they had Rashad Evans on the co-main event. So it was headlined by Tyrone Spong and Sergey Kharitonov, very well-known mixed martial artists. And Tyrone Spong is kickboxing world champion as well as a boxing. I believe he's ranked number 3 in boxing. So he actually owns one of my favorite knockouts of all time. So
really,
I mean, let's get straight into the main and co-main event of the evening. So Tyrone Spong, he was supposed to fight Bigfoot Silva. That fight got canceled. I'm not sure why, but they matched him up with Kharitonov, who was significantly larger than him. And if you saw the fight play out, he had no chance in there. He took Spong onto the floor, and Spong didn't know what he was doing, and it looked like he was being bullied. And I don't think that MMA is a sport for Tyrone Spong. Like, I love watching him strike. If you watch him strike, he's perfect at striking. But when you put in the wrestling and grappling, he just doesn't look really good on him. So Kharitonov got the job done as I thought he would, as most people thought he would. And do you have anything to say about that fight?
Yeah, look, sir. Tyrone Spong, he started off with a couple of strong kicks, but then one of those kicks got caught. He ended up in a takedown, and he ended up on the ground for the remainder of that round. Second round, he came out a bit more reserved with the kicks. He was trying to throw more punches, but 1 or 2 kicks in, he got caught. And again, same thing. He got taken down, ground and pound. Sergey, what a beast, man. He was dropping bombs on him, elbows, punches, very good positioning. I thought he did a very good job. Not too good for Tyrone Spong, unfortunately.
Yeah, Tyrone Spong is 2-0 in MMA prior to this. He's 2-1 now. Kharitonov has been doing this for 15, 20 years, and at least 15, 20 years. And he's been in top heavyweights in the world for a very long time. And you can see why. He's fucking huge. He's strong. He's not the most technical, but he knows how to wrestle. He knows how to strike. He knows how to do all that stuff. So for Tyrone Spong to even take that fight, I give him a lot of credit for that. I didn't think he was going to win, but you never know. He punches like a freaking horse. So
he kicks like a horse too, man. You just couldn't keep it going.
I love his kicks, bro. His kicks are so beautiful. There's actually a video of him breaking one of his legs using one of those kicks. But yeah, in the co-main event, we had your boy Rashad Evans fighting Gabriel Checo. It wasn't a walk in the park for Rashad Evans. It was nice to see him get the job done. Personally, I don't really enjoy watching Rashad Evans fight anymore. I thought he did better than I thought he would. He won the fight via unanimous decision. It was a clear win, but like, it's not like, what are you fighting for? I don't see what he's really fighting for. He's not really an exciting fighter. I think that he's still a little bit reserved in terms of punching and kicking. I just don't see the whole point. I mean, it's nice to see a legend come back and do all that stuff, but I don't know. Good job to Rashad Evans, but I don't know. I mean, obviously I'm going to tune in if he fights, but I'm not really interested in it.
So yeah, first thing I want to say is I'm glad Rashad signed with Eagle FC. Him continuing to fight at UFC or even Bellator, I think would have not been too great. But him fighting at Eagle FC, it kind of made sense. The level of competition. He's 42 years old and breaks a 5-fight losing skid. His first win since 2013, and his first fight in 3.5 years. So after such a big delay, after such a big losing streak, he showed his wrestling was still there. Rashad Evans was always known for his wrestling pedigree, his strong takedowns. He didn't necessarily excel in his hands, but what we saw this weekend, I don't know. He really needed to sharpen up his striking. And look, maybe just the age at this point, he's not as fast. He can't react as well. The wrestling's still there. So I don't know, maybe he can utilize that, but I think with a good striker, he may have a problem. But he did show us that he was able to out grapple a high level Brazilian jiu-jitsu grappler. So it was good signs in that department, but I don't know. Striking, like I said, seemed a bit slow, a bit rusty, whatever you want to call it, but needs a little bit more improvement in my opinion.
Yeah, Rashad Evans, a former Michigan State NCAA wrestler. Obviously, he's a good wrestler. He always was a good wrestler. So I guess kind of the muscle memory kicked in for the fight. But something interesting about Rashad Evans, I don't know if you heard about this, about his new diet. So
fruit or something like that?
Yeah, so he eats only fruit and vegetables now, and that's literally all he eats. I never heard of a diet like this. That's crazy. But he looked good. He looked like he was in good shape. I don't know. I don't really know much about the diet, so I don't want to make any comments towards it. But he says that he wants to come back. He says that he could be in better condition. So I mean, let's see. And the one thing that I like about Eagle FC, I don't know if it's going to continue to be like this, but I don't think they have belts or anything like that at this time, right? So why not be a promotion where like two fighters want to fight? Like, why don't you just go and fight one another? There's no belt. There's no nothing.
No rankings. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, no rankings. Like, I don't think there's any ranking as of right now, right?
Yeah, but what if you get a situation like what's going on in the UFC welterweight division where no one wants to fight anyone? I feel like they're all being bitches, especially in the top of that division where no one wants to fight there. It's either title fight or nothing. Yeah,
it's not going to happen because there's no title. It's like this could be a promotion where people just like, you want to fight?
Randomized?
Just fight. Yeah. Like we're about to see Kevin Lee fight Sanchez in March. That's next. I believe that's the next event for her.
Unfortunately, yes.
I mean, whatever. It's like I'm kind of interested to see what's gonna happen. Like I hope Kevin Lee wins. He has to win.
Bro, if Kevin Lee does not win, he needs to hang up his gloves. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. He needs to hang up his gloves if he cannot beat an old, washed up Diego Sanchez. Bro, Kevin Lee should be in his prime right now. There's no excuse to lose to a Diego Sanchez at this point in his career. Absolutely zero excuses.
There's no point to lose to fucking Ali Quinta. He was supposed to beat Ali Quinta. He's a better fighter than Ali Quinta. If you look at any aspect of his game, he's better everywhere than Ali Quinta. But I feel like it's the Ali Quinta effect. He has that effect. You had it with Kevin Lee. He had it with Khabib, how he lasted 5 rounds. Like, he has something about himself. He's a tough guy. But Kevin Lee, I mean, he has to bring it. He has to bring the game. But one thing that I was listening to a podcast and they were mentioning that apparently Khabib extended an invite to Eagle FC to your boy Jake Paul. I don't know how realistic or why Jake Paul would want to come to Eagle FC, but what are your thoughts on that?
Jake Paul's a bitch. He's not going to do it. He's only going to go to the UFC, maybe Bellator if there's a specific name he wants to fight, but he's only going to go there for the money fight. the Eagle, maybe they'll offer him the money, but there isn't the fight. You know what I mean? At least not yet. They don't.
They could get any fighter to the Eagle FC.
Okay,
Like,
who would you say is the top candidate?
I don't have a top candidate, but that's what I'm saying. Like, but I don't think that Eagle FC will make
Anderson Silva.
Henderson Silva in the UFC. Like,
let's do it, bro.
That's
or
not
GSP.
Nah.
Bro, GSP's gonna watch Jake Paul. What are you talking? In MMA? He's gonna watch Jake Paul.
Yeah, MMA for sure, bro. That's embarrassment.
You're not dying to see that, bro.
No, GSP's so small, bro. GSP's a small guy.
He's bigger than Silva.
GSP? No, he's not.
Oh no, he's not. I take that back.
If anything, I could see Jake Paul coming to Bellator because it's Showtime and he has a connection with Showtime boxing and stuff like that. So if he fights anywhere in terms of MMA, I think it's going to be in Bellator or something along those lines. But I don't see him coming to MMA. Like, I don't know, and I don't know. I don't get what's his deal with Dana White. Like, what is he gaining out of like telling Dana clout? Exactly, but he doesn't give a fuck how much fighters make. Like, he doesn't care. What is he gaining out of this? You know, like he just wants to annoy Dana White and he wants the clout. He wants to annoy a rich man and he wants the attention. Like, he doesn't care how much they're getting paid. Like none of his boys are fighters that he wants them to make more money. You know, it's
all a show.
He's such a clown, but he's so good at it. He's so good at this shit.
Anyway, let's move on from that. That was Eagle FC.
Yeah, Eagle FC, good promotion. I see a lot of potential in it. And they're also talking, one thing I also wanted to mention, they're also talking about by Eagle FC 46. So this event that just passed was 44. By 46, they're talking about virtual reality or a virtual reality component to Eagle FC, something that we haven't seen in any of the other promotions. So that's something to look out for. If you guys haven't watched Eagle FC, just give it a glimpse. You don't have to watch the whole thing. The fights weren't really too exciting. But the promotion aspect of it, I thought it was okay. But yeah, looking forward to the next one.
Same here. Can't wait to tune in. Also this Saturday, we had Bellator 273 go down. In the co-main event, we had Benson Henderson against Islam Mamedov. Islam was coming in riding a 20-fight winning streak, and Benson Henderson was on a 3-fight losing skid. But Benson Henderson pulled off a decision win after 3 rounds. It was a pretty big upset. Benson had a deep guillotine in the first round. He had it for a while. A lot of people, I thought that Mamedov was going to tap. His head actually turned purple, but like after like 30 seconds, a minute, I kind of saw it got a little bit of color back in his face. So I'm like, all right, maybe the choke loosened up, and then he was able to slip his head out. But he had a deep guillotine in the first round. Benson Henderson just has such high fight IQ. He's been doing this for so long. He has so many different tools in his arsenal, both standing up and on the ground. So very high level fight. But look, Mamedov had Benson Henderson in a rear naked choke at the end of the fight, which, you know, if there was another minute or two, the fight could have gone a little bit differently.
Listen, I think that I'm going to say it right now. I think this was a robbery. What did you say? It was a 20-fight winning streak that Mamedov was on.
Yep.
It should be 21. Good performance, amazing performance by Henderson. I was very surprised and I was proud of him. I thought it was a phenomenal performance, but Mamedov clearly won, in my opinion. He lost. Mamedov lost round 1, and then he won round 2 and 3. I just watched the fight. There's no way the broadcast team was talking about Mamedov should have won. I thought that was very clear. Mamedov was on top, hitting Henderson in the face, and Henderson would go in and get some type of submission that didn't do anything. Like, I don't know how you score for him, but I mean, good job for Henderson. I thought it was a good performance on his part, but I think that Mamedov should have been the victor that night. And it's sad to see his winning streak come to shit for bad judging, in my opinion.
Look, I'm not disagreeing. Mamedov probably won, but I'm not super upset. I feel like it was a close enough fight where either man could have won the fight. I don't know. I'm not as upset about it as you are, but I guess Mamedov probably should have won that decision. But I don't know how many people are watching, but Benson Henderson, before they announced the scorecards, he actually came up to Khabib and shaked his hand because Mamedov is one of Khabib's teammates. And he shook Khabib's hand and he said, hopefully I want to talk to you soon. My contract expires. So
yeah. Oh, that's what he said. I was wondering what he was saying.
Yeah, so look, maybe we may be seeing Benson Henderson in Eagle FC in the near future. We never know, because I believe this was the last fight of his contract. But Benson Henderson doesn't sound like he's convinced whether or not he wants to pursue fighting anymore. Like I said, the guy's been in the game for a minute, so
Bro,
yeah, man.
the thing is that people, like, I don't know, they respect Khabib the way Khabib carries himself, I guess, in a way. People want to fight for him. People want to like do business with Khabib, and it's a lot of these fighters, like the card, the Eagle FC card. There's a lot of known fighters from different organizations. A lot of people after the fight were thanking Khabib for the opportunity. So I see a lot of growth in that promotion. And if Benson Henderson goes there, that'll be awesome, because I feel like he definitely fit in there at the tail end of his career after a loss. He should have lost. But it is what it is. Mamedov, he's going to come back, I'm sure, stronger. But that was Khabib's cousin. So it was a loss for Team Nurmagomedov, but it is what it is. We get bad we get bad judging some fights, and that's just the sport that we have. So it is what it is, man.
So this past Saturday, we also had Bellator 273 go down. Ryan Bader successfully defended his belt against Valentin Moldavsky. The start of the fight, he landed a huge overhand right that dropped Moldavsky right on his ass. This gave me throwback feelings to the Fedor fight where he dropped Fedor like that. Ryan Bader has a very scary overhand right. Just want to say that. It's huge punch. But he was able to kind of control Moldavsky for the first round. Moldavsky was able to recover a little bit and out-grapple Bader, but I feel like Bader he was controlling most of the fight, in my opinion. 5 hard rounds. I felt like Bader was more explosive. He was in his face more, and he was just controlling the fight a bit more overall, in my opinion. What was your thoughts on the fight?
Everything that you just said, I kind of agree with, but I do think that this fight could have gone either way. I think that Ryan Bader won. I'm not upset with the decision, but I wouldn't be surprised if it went the other way. I thought he did enough himself. I know that Bader had that overhand right in the first round that dropped him, but after that, it was a very slow fight, kind of boring to watch until the 4th and 5th round where they kind of started turning it up. So whatever, it is what it is. Bader won, and so apparently what's next for Bader is Congo. So I like how the Bellator, in a way, they, you know how UFC goes and like, oh, I have to talk it over and we'll decide on Tuesday, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Bellator doesn't really do it. Like, yeah, the next fight is Congo.
Yeah, I'm actually glad you pointed that out. That's something I noticed as well. And I like that they do that. I was like looking out because like I said, I was rewatching all these events yesterday as I was preparing for this episode. And like you see at the end of the event, his next, like who he's fighting, when they're fighting, like it's all booked, it's all there. There's no bullshit in between fights. I like that. And that's how all promotions should be.
Yeah. So, I mean, whatever. I'm not too excited for that fight. Whatever. I hope that Ryan Bader wins and then we get the rematch with Fyodor Emelianenko. We know that Bader defeated Fyodor Emelianenko in his last fight. So I'd love to see that rematch. Fyodor is getting very fucking old. He's looking like a great coach though, but he's getting old, and I want to see Fyodor get that fight one more time prior to maybe retiring. I don't know what he's planning to do with his career, but
did you see the size difference between Ryan Bader and Cheick Kongo? Huge. Cheick Kongo's huge. Bro, they look like they're 2-3 weight classes apart, bro. It was crazy.
People are so old. Like Cheick Kongo, Ryan Bader, Emelianenko. These people are they've been in the game for so long, and all of them are freaking UFC fighters aside from Fyodor Emelianenko. But these heavyweights, bro, they don't go away. They're like here to stay, and whatever. God bless them, man.
God bless them, brother. God bless them. So that was it for Bellator 273. This Saturday, we have Jack Hermansen versus Sean Strickland headlining UFC Fight Night. That's going to be the main cards at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN+. John and I are in a bit of a time constraint today, unfortunately, so we're just going to give you our quick predictions on the main event. We're not going to go through the entire card. So, John, Sean Strickland, Jack Hermansen, who wins? What do you think? Tell us your thoughts.
So as much as I fucking hate Sean Strickland, as do many people, if you don't not hate Sean Strickland, then
I kind of like the guy, honestly.
Yeah, I was just about to say there's something wrong with you, and obviously we already know that. So, I mean, I don't know. I think that Sean Strickland is going to win. He's been looking very good as of late. What is this? He's on a 5-fight winning streak, defeating tough people. He last defeated Uriah Hall. pretty clearly. He defeated Jotko, Brendan Allen, Jack Marshman, Nordine Taleb. So all these people are pretty good competition. So he's been looking good as of late. And if you look at Jack Hermansen, he has his last win over Edmund Shabazian, who's been on a skid as of late. And then he lost to Marvin Vittori prior to that. And prior to that, he defeated Kevin Gastelum, Kevin Gastelum, like, who is he in the division anymore? And before that, he lost to Jared Cannonier. So he's winning one, losing one. So Jack Hermansen, I don't know. He's a decent fighter, but I feel like Sean Strickland, better striker. He has good takedown defense, good enough grappling to defeat Jack Hermansen.
Yeah, I agree. Sean Strickland, he definitely hits harder. Jack Hermansen, I think he's a much better grappler, but I did see, either I heard it somewhere or I saw it today. Sean Strickland hasn't been taken down since moving up a weight class, moving up to middleweight, which I thought is interesting to hear. Now, Jack Hermansen, I'm not saying he's not going to be able to take him down, but it's definitely going to be a test for him. It's not going to be easy, but I think he has a stronger wrestling pedigree. It may make sense for him to take the fight down to the ground. Sean Strickland, the guy's a crazy fuck, like you said. Like, he talks shit. He's in your face. Like, he knocks out his training partners. Like, that you don't do that shit. And like, Sean Strickland doesn't give a fuck. Like, he's a madman. He's a former Nazi. I
hate that. I fucking hate that shit.
I mean, look, he's admitted that he was younger then and he didn't really understand. He regrets just being involved at all. No, to be honest, I believe what he's saying. Like, I believe he regrets it.
Yeah, but then he says shit like that, and then he also says shit like, "Oh, like, I want to kill my opponent in the ring and stuff like that. Like, I'll be happy if I kill them." Like,
it's a crazy fuck, bro. On Ariel Helwani's show, he said he doesn't like going to events because, like, he might feel like killing someone.
First of all, he was a Nazi. Eric and I are both Jews. To the audience, I think this is the first time that I'm announcing this, but we're both Jews, and that's kind of fucked up. Somebody's a fucking Nazi, and we just passed Holocaust Remembrance Day. Shout out to that. But listen, besides that, he says stupid shit about, like, killing his opponents, hurting his opponent. Like, this is a sport at the end of the day, and I'm not sure if he's saying that for clout or what he's doing that for, but I'm rooting for him to lose, and I don't root for a lot of people to lose, but I hope he loses, which I don't think he will. I think he's going to destroy Jack Hermansen. And Jack Hermansen, I think he's a better grappler, but he's not an outstanding grappler. He's like a decent grappler. We saw what happened when he grappled your boy Khamzat Chimaev. Khamzat Chimaev destroyed him. Crazy.
That is Khamzat, though, so it's hard to judge it solely off of that.
Khamzat Chimaev, man. We could just talk about Khamzat Chimaev all day, man. But yeah, anyways.
Our listeners are probably annoyed of all the Khamzat Islam Makhachev talk that we got on here, but don't worry, guys. It's Islam time. It's Khamzat time.
It's fuck. I don't know, bro. Fuck Islam. Islam's boring. Khamzat Chimaev is so funny, so crazy, and there's a difference of being crazy. Like, you see Khamzat Chimaev, the way crazy he is. I'm gonna eat these guys. He's crazy too, but like, there's a different way of approaching it. Not saying I want to kill this person. I want to kill his family and be a Nazi and kill all you. Be like, this is like, it's different. There's different ways of approaching it. And the way Sean Strickland does is not pleasant to watch, in my opinion.
A crazy fuck. That's all I can say. But guys, that is it for round 51 of Inside the Clinch. Thanks again for tuning in. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. On Instagram, we are Inside the Clinch MMA. On Twitter, we are ITC MMA Podcast. On Facebook and YouTube, we're Inside the Clinch MMA Podcast. And for any email inquiries, please send them to info@insidetheclinch.com. Thank you, guys. Catch you next week.